Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 143. We're picking up in the Dreamlands in a seedy, packed, smoke-filled drug den, slouching in a dark corner of the city of Dilathleen. You're in a wide, low space with improbably old-fashioned wainscots, reminding you of the heart of some condemned old craft. On the walls, between curtains, hang oil paintings so thoroughly besmoked and in every way defaced that in the unequal crosslights by which you view them, it would only be by diligent study and a series of systematic visits that you could in any way arrive at an understanding of their subjects or purpose. And what most puzzles and confounds you is the identical, long, portentous black mass of something which hovers at the center of every picture. Squitchy pictures, truly, enough to drive a nervous soul distracted. Yet there is a sort of indefinite, unimaginable sublimity about them that nearly freezes your gaze to them. A dusky place this is, filled with blue-gray smoke, low ponderous beams above, and old worn planks below. Long, low, shelf-like tables covered with cracked glass cases filled with rooks' heads. Shabby, circular tables ranged round with decanters, bottles, flasks. Contained within, delirium, dreams, and death. And filling the room are such an unaccountable mass of shapes and shadows that you feel almost bewitched by the close-pressing chaos. Figures in green goggles, figures with goblets, figures thin as harpoons, figures of corpulent flesh, knaves, murderers, fools, champions, renegades, and castaways. Some are wildly happy, some are deeply fucked up, most of them are high. Not all of them are types of highs you recognize or understand. And it's a riot of skin tones in here, mostly shades of blue, red, and purple, even though almost everybody looks just human or tiefling. There are a lot of devil spawn in here, and cats under chairs in corners, lounging on cushions, living their best dreamy lives. It's a big circular room. You can tell you're underground because there's a set of stairs across the way that leads up to what looks like a street level. And you can tell that all this wood paneling on the walls and floors and the ceiling, all of it is covering a building seemingly made of solid jet black volcanic stone. And you can tell because the floorboards here and there are broken, and you can catch glimpses of the basalt beneath. Same on the walls. Between the weird paintings on the walls, all the way around the room, there are doorways covered in thick red curtains hiding secret rooms or secret offshoots, private spaces. And standing amidst this press are jewel tone opium den Dora, flowy pants and pirate sleeves Dabwick, olive drab sleeveless vest red bandana Gripper, and chubby, pimply, teenaged Vic with his riotous collection of jangly bracelets. Let's see, what was going on when we last left off? Oh, right, one of the servers, a young woman around 20 years old with blue skin and blue hair, barely dressed, just spotted Vic and said, "Dad, I've got art for you. Here's your daughter, Johnny."
Aw, she looks very contemplative.
Oh, and also, based on how things ended the last time you all were in the dream, Gripper's probably still got that scalpel he picked up off the floor of the ballroom in Sarnath, and Dora would be holding the soaking wet, continuously dripping, glowing green water lizard idol in her hands. That's where we pick up.
Awesome.
Let's start with the physical activities first. The two of you that have weird shit in your hands, are you putting it away? What are you doing with it?
I think we should trade them.
Okay.
That you should give me the scalpel so that I can read it at some point.
Okay, yeah.
And that you should put this idol away.
Into the bag of holding.
I'll just open up the bag and let you drop it in.
Yeah. Maybe like under the table a little bit.
Yeah, why? You mean not just...
There are so many people and so much smoke and so much noise.
It's
like
too much to anybody to
Someone would
notice.
have to be specifically watching you, like this young woman is. So she's staring at you in the face there, Vic, with a pretty accusatory look in her eyes. She doesn't seem pleased to see you necessarily.
So amidst the cacophony
Yeah.
of sound, Vic leans in and goes, "My name's not Chad."
Look, I will give this to you, but I'm not going to spit in your fucking face, Dad. And she reaches, I guess she's tucked in. Oh, she's a server too, so she'd have some
Yeah.
place to put
Apron.
money in. So she's got a little apron. No, but she's wearing a bikini. So she's got a little belt pouch around her like Princess Leia bikini.
Just dangling.
Yes.
that's strange.
She reaches in and she pulls out, Johnny, she pulls out this tiny little something that she's holding between her fingers, and she holds her hand out in front of you like she wants to drop it in your hand. It's so small you can't even see what it is.
And Vic just kind of sighs and like puts his hand out.
She drops it. It is a tiny little rectangle of crispy, leathery something, maybe dead skin, and it seems to have a perfect equilateral triangle on it.
Can I make any kind of alchemical check on it? Is this some kind of drug thing, or is this something else?
It was once a piece of your face. You reckon it's your tattoo.
What?
What? Can we talk?
Are you sticking around?
Yeah.
All right, come on over here. And she leads you towards one of the red curtains. Taking the whole gang with you, or are you just going in by yourself? Are you following, or are you letting this alone?
I will try to remain proximate. He'll try to be subtle about staying within earshot. Probably not successful, but that he's like, yeah, I'm going to see what this is about.
Before they go,
Yeah.
Dora will cast telepathic bond on the party.
Oh, great. All right, so
But
you
not
are
follow.
all you are all bonded. So you can speak telepathically with Vic, but you're going to let him go by himself. Great. And what about Dabs?
I feel like Dabwick is really curious and can't help themselves and follows
Okay.
towards the curtain door.
So she takes you to this curtain and pulls it aside, and
As we're walking away, I say, "Do you know any of my friends?"
you're with them.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know them.
Okay. I
Should I?
I don't know.
Are you running an operation here?
Let's talk.
Can you take off this ridiculous face, Dad? I mean, I know you like it, but
Sure. Yeah. And he. Shoot.
oh my God, you're so young. And what?
Time moves
Did you
differently.
cut the rest of them off? What the fuck, Dad?
Yeah. I guess I did. I didn't know that I cut any off before.
You gave that to me to give to you. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, that's a very long story, but we can find some time. How much later are you on?
Look, I just got here, but I mean, I'm taking a look around, right? I mean, come on back here. Behind this red curtain is a small private room, about like 15 by 15, with cushions and a low divan and a whole bunch of pipes and bottles and beakers all over the place. Easy enough for Gripper to kind of like hang in the doorway and just keep an ear pressed through the curtain. And if Dabs wants to slip in,
And I think Dabs would stay outside.
okay,
Give them privacy.
all right. So where have you been?
This is gonna sound really crazy, but my friends and I, well, not the halfling, but my other two friends and I guess we pulled a job here, and that's the only thing I knew about it. We then went on. Did you ever meet Lols?
I don't know who that is.
Dumb guy, glasses, stupid hat.
Look, you
Yeah, all right, you
brought
didn't
a lot of idiots around, Dad. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Anyway, he took us to a place and basically sort of sacrificed our memories and shoved us into a mental institution. And
a mental institution.
And then we woke up. Now
there it is.
Let's see, it's been...
That's what Mom said.
Well, Mom was probably right in this case.
I don't know where she's at.
Dad. Oh, wait. I got something. It's perfect for this. Hold on.
What's wrong with your voice?
This is what I sound like now. I went through a couple of different voices. If you could tell me what I sounded like before, that'd be great to know.
A little more serious.
A little more serious. Oh, well, that's...
A little meaner.
Oh, like James Gandolfini.
If she had that reference, she might suggest it.
Yeah, that's probably what I sounded like before. God, where is it? Incense of Open Thoughts. Here we go. While a block of this sweet-scented incense burns, creatures inhaling its fumes become unusually receptive to thought. In still air, the incense's smoke permeates a 40-foot by 40-foot area to a height of 20 feet. Creatures within that area can communicate telepathically with other creatures in the area. Creatures communicating in this fashion don't need to share a language but must have an intelligence of 3 or higher. The openness of mind engendered by the incense also provides a +5 insight bonus on diplomacy and sense motive checks against creatures in the area, and imposes a -5 penalty on bluff and intimidate checks against such creatures, and a -2 penalty on saving throws against mind-affecting effects.
How many things of incense are burning in this establishment at this point?
Oh my God.
So much.
Yeah.
Look, I get that you probably don't believe anything I'm saying. I understand that.
I mean, are you back?
I have no memory or knowledge of you whatsoever. This is...
What the fuck, Dad?
I know. I understand. I get that you are upset and pissed at me.
Why would you take this angle, you piece of shit?
All right, I'm just gonna light this.
I don't know who you are.
And he lights the incense.
Okay.
How's it going?
You hear a little voice in your mind. Okay, great. No save allowed from what I'm seeing here. All right. 40-foot by 40-foot area. We'll say for the moment it is contained within this enclosed space, but if we start opening that curtain, it might just spill out and
cause a ruckus.
People will get even more open-minded. So while Vic is lighting the incense, what are the rest of you up to, or are you just hanging tight until this nonsense is over?
Rather than try to do diplomacy checks for an hour in a drug den, Dora's going to cast Detect Thoughts, looking for the name Quaviandra.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out, why did the thing bring us here? I mean, she knows that we ambushed her here last time. Mm-hmm. But we do know that she gave him something, right?
Yeah, you saw her give him something.
So she remarks to everyone, I guess, telepathically, these breadcrumbs, we should understand what they mean.
As you cast Detect Thoughts, this is a riot of people and a riot of altered mental states to a degree Dora hasn't ever experienced before. With this,
lot, right?
It's got to be extremely overwhelming.
And casting it as a first level spell so that the DC is lower, so that not everybody's going to make it. Right. Not everybody's going to fail it.
Yeah.
So that it's maybe a little less overwhelming than it normally would be. She's doing the easy version.
Trying to open your mind just a little bit.
Yeah, I have to use a spell slot to use it, but the only difference it makes is what the DC is. So some people will accidentally make it, and I won't get everybody.
But, I mean, you do get through to
a lot
of folks. And since you're focused on this name, Quaviandra, I think it's only a matter of a few seconds before you pick up the thoughts of a couple of people who are noting to themselves, I can't believe she came back here. That's wild.
In reference to Dora?
In reference to Quaviandra.
Yeah,
Quaviandra.
because last time she was here, she got ambushed and
something went down.
Stole her zone.
I hope there's not going to be violence again. My God, she's so hot. Look at that dress, and you can easily triangulate this, and you can across the way, about 50 feet away from you through the press, draped over this sofa is this just imperious, outsized presence, completely different than the last night hag you all encountered. Still the sharp teeth, still the long claws and the ram's horns, but Quaviandra looks flush with life, healthy and lively, practically glowing, as if she's perhaps recently eaten, with this tall, elaborately coiffed hair and this curvaceous form draped in this richly expensive and very revealing dress. Let me give you some art for the new night hag in your life. Oh, it's so weird when they try to be sexy because it's a hag. Isn't that a fun picture?
I love the pearls.
Yeah, so she's in this image. She is a hideous, wrinkled hag with an elaborate bouffant hairdo,
like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
Similar streak going
and
through.
She's stroking this necklace she's got around her neck.
And on that necklace is their heartstone.
You definitely see a large orangey red gemstone that you would guess to be a jacinth. So she's definitely there.
Okay, so dismiss the detect thoughts.
Yeah.
Vic, she's here. She's wearing a gem around her neck.
What's happening right now is
so that this is catching us up to you lighting the incense. So
okay.
As the incense gets going and begins to fill the room, and your daughter's looking at you, you hear that.
I'm kind of dealing with the thing right now, Dora.
Okay.
Have at it. I guess we'll just hang out and do drugs.
So then she's just kind of watching you go through this, and then within a couple of seconds of the smoke starting to fill the space, she sighs, and then you hear, why in the world is he doing that inside your mind? Wait, can you...
Yeah.
Do you have no respect for my privacy?
I'm trying to let you into my mind.
What is it you want me to see?
And I'm trying to think about all of the things, like from the waking up to the not knowing our names to escaping Briarstone, going from Gulliver to Roni to Vic, and having discovered more and more, and then the different times we've come to the Dreamlands.
Yeah.
And every single time we came, we discovered that we had done something to this area. We had changed it, poisoned it, broken it, and done these sort of horrible, horrible things. And how, as we've been going along, how Vic in particular has felt responsible for these actions in a way that he thinks that the rest of the party has not necessarily felt responsible for it. And that he feels bad. He feels he feels awful about this, and he wants to be as open with her as he can possibly be, while at the same time going, I don't know how to fix this. I don't even know that this is something that can be quote unquote fixed, but I can be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we can at least move forward from a place of that, because otherwise, there's no point in anything.
It was Roni, Dad. That's how I knew you.
I'm sorry.
But your name was Sebastianos.
Oh, man. Of course it was. Sebastianos.
At least that's what you called yourself to me and Mom.
Yeah, well, there's a very strong possibility that I had some mental illnesses that I was dealing with as a result of having been in the Dreamlands.
And you believe this is not mental illness, what you just showed me?
Oh no, all of that was. I'm actually doing okay right now. It might not seem like it, and you can, again, not believe me.
Do you give a shit about anything?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. How did you get so young?
Was I old before?
I mean, you were 50 when I saw you a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago.
Seven weeks ago?
Okay. So 7 weeks ago you saw
Were you
me.
part of this... Oh my god. Were you a part of the thing last week?
What happened last week?
Quaviandra was attacked?
Probably.
Shit. I was off that night, but I heard all about it from everybody.
Well, at least
I mean, there were
wasn't-
fireballs, Dad. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was probably Tima.
Well, I don't know how you expect me to deal with this information. You asked me to give that back to you. You told me to spit in your face if you showed up here again. I'm feeling more and more like doing so, to be completely frank with you, Dad. But obviously you got a lot of shit going on.
When we go out of here, when people do see us, you should probably spit in my face and maybe give me a good slap. Don't tell anyone I'm your dad.
Dad, I mean, everybody here knows you.
How many times did I come here?
You practically lived here, Dad. We all do. I work here. Mom worked here before she disappeared. And this is where you hung out every day. For 19 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Dad.
His daughter
19
played by
years.
Judd Nelson.
Yeah, I did a stint in one area for about 6 months, but it seems like I might have stayed here for 19 years.
Having a daughter and raising her is it's a stint, huh? Okay, Dad. Yeah, everyone here knows your face, and everyone here recognizes a lot of your other faces. So I'd try something new if you don't want people to know who you are. She's making her way towards the curtain, as if to leave.
I'm standing in front of the door.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything, but I'm
You're looming?
I'm looming. I'm looming and giving a is everything all right look to my friend Vic here.
Yeah, no.
And Dabs
no.
is peeking through the curtain down below.
Let her go. Guys.
Right. Oh, sure.
So then Dora, who's, you've been using this time doing the thought detecting and stuff, got a strange response from Vic, and then you see this young woman kind of burst out of the curtains, and she's crying, and she makes her way across the room and through the smoke and out of your sight for the moment.
Is everything all right?
As you ask that question, as the curtain opens up, the smoke billowing out of that chamber starts to fill in with the smoke all around you. Y'all feel really open and loose. It's gonna be
Dora
real
is
tough to lie.
Terrified. She's like, what is happening?
Vic is,
Probably
Vic is
really
gonna
in tune
now
with this.
Yes.
dampen the incense, but
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna at least get out.
What have you done?
Nobody seems to be trying to use this private room right now. So if you all want to duck in there for a second, you certainly can.
Where all the smoke is?
Oh God, of course.
Yeah.
We don't need a private room.
Right, you're
We can
talking.
talk
Yeah, you can talk
telepathically,
telepathically. Okay.
But
So
maybe close the curtain.
Dora. Can you read this?
And he holds out like the
the scrap of flesh in his hand.
What have we got? Tattoo needle, scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
What was left in the Plaza of Bones?
That was a small coin, and you've already read that.
Coin,
Silver vial.
silver vial.
Yep.
We've all left things behind, but mostly Vic. Yeah?
No.
No?
So far, tattoo needle from the Gripper,
Uh-huh.
silver vial from Tima, coin from Vic,
Scalpel from
Scalpel-
Vatikus.
Or
we don't know.
Ray.
Or from
Ray.
Ray.
Or from Ray. Right. She holds her hand out. We got a minute. So she's going to do this one telepathically rather than out loud.
Oh, well, let's make that concentration check to see if you succeed. I think that's the mechanic we talked about 5 years ago.
That's right.
I mean, you're so... This whole thing of being this incense of open thoughts, would you...
She's going to try.
She's going to try.
It's got to have a...
That's fun.
It's got to have a penalty to it, though, right?
33.
Okay.
She's like shaking and
down.
sweating.
You've got flop sweat.
And she reads the scrap of flesh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, fun. All right. Okay, this one, Katie, this one, and compounded by the environment, this one feels so trippy. I mean, super, super trippy. First of all, where you are, right? Second of all, it's a dream object. Now she's kind of gotten used to inhabiting a dream body in the dreamlands where these objects that are not real feel real to her. But of course, there's always a little piece of her mind that's remembering, like, it's not actually real, but it's still imbued with memory and emotion and significance. So it's not real, but it's true, right? So we're talking about another deep pool filled with ripples here rather than a rushing river.
Yeah.
She's experienced that before. The tattoo needle, the vial, the coin. But now that she's got a comparison point, those things felt, relatively speaking, much more real to her. Like they were objects from the real world that their owners manifested here, either consciously or unconsciously. This feels similar, but also really different. Like it has both existed for a while and was only very, very recently created. And the thing that makes this super trippy is with every time you've done a psychometry reading, you've experienced a moment. What you experience here is a moment of someone remembering other moments. So this is a vision Dora experiences in the dimension of dreams from an object that doesn't literally exist, of someone else having a moment where they remember a moment where they remembered a moment. I preface all that just because I think it's fun flavor for what's happening right now, and also for how deep down the dream rabbit hole we are getting as we get deeper and deeper into book 3 here.
19 years.
So, here we go. A middle-aged man stares into a mirror and remembers a young man staring into a mirror who is remembering a teenager staring into a mirror. It's the first mirror the 50-year-old man has looked at in nearly 2 decades. And the face he sees is an almost unknown face. He stares into the mirror at the wrinkles, his gray hair, his eyes. He wouldn't even recognize himself if it weren't for the tattoo. The geometric spiral of tiny equilateral triangles on his left cheek, just like his uncle had before the Red Death. Sebastianus stares at his face and he remembers that's not his name. It was his oldest brother's name. He just started using it here and it stuck. Especially after Katerina was born. Roni. That's his name. Only it's not, and it never was. Whoever he is, he stares at the marks on his face. He finds the very last triangle, the outside-most one. That was the last one he did. Trice, Dr. Trice. Not the last person he killed, not by a long shot, not a long shot, but the last tattoo he bothered to make. He stares at that last triangle and then rides the spiral back down to its beginning, separating his mind from his body, reaching out, embracing the memories all the way down to the first one, the mark at the center. And it all starts rushing back to him as he looks in the mirror, in that halfway space between memory and reality. Blood starts leaking out of his nose, and he remembers Roni staring at his face in a mirror, while the Basilica Clan body artist drives the tiny needle into his face. It's not exactly the first mirror he's looked at in over a decade, but it feels like it. He stares at his sun-ravaged skin, his mop of hair, his eyes. And his expression, he looks harder, crueler, merciless. Yeah, he's starting to look like a young Uncle G. It's working. Roni stares at his face and he remembers that's not even his name. It never was, but it's the one he's claimed for now, and he's going to memorialize his uncle by building a tattoo of his own. And as the artist marks him with his first triangle, he thinks back to the murder it represents. He separates mind from body, rides the spiral of memory back down, not to the beginning, but certainly to a beginning. And he remembers as Victor, young Victor. Catches his reflection in the shard of mirror he holds in his hand. It's the first mirror he's had his hands on since his parents died. He thinks, maybe? Anyhow, Victor's not 9 years old anymore. It's hard to tell exactly how old someone would think he is because the recent years have been very hard on him. But he's definitely more adolescent than child now. He's in a period of transition. But gotta stop staring at his face. Now it's time to focus. He doesn't know how the gods came to smile on him this day, but they did for the first time in over 5 years, and he is not going to waste the opportunity. Stop thinking, keep moving. Somehow, there was a hole in the Knoll's patrol and shift change patterns. Somehow, he was able to squeeze his malnourished little frame through the bars. Somehow, there were no other prisoners on the floor today. Somehow, no one heard when he broke the mirror and scooped up a shard of it for himself. His uncle taught him, you always gotta check your corners, stay low, stay quiet, use a mirror. So that's exactly what he's doing. Somehow, he made his way through the yard with its nearly 100-foot tall curved granite walls, and no one saw him. Somehow, he got through the valley and past the murder holes. Somehow the portcullis was open. They must be meeting a guest down at the entrance to the quarter. But don't stop. Don't think. Go, go, go. Stop thinking. Keep moving. Somehow. Until he was here. In this moment. He'd found out what they were doing, and he was right. They were meeting someone and escorting them back up to the fortress. Oh, and there they go. Passing through the street in formation. And Victor's back here, tucked into this dead-end alley, crouched behind some crates, kicking himself. Because he just kicked a stone and caught the attention of the man at the mouth of the alley who was watching the Knolls go by. Just a man, just some guy. But now the guy's curious. He heard the noise. He called out. He's heading back. And the noise and the motion are going to catch somebody's eye. And then those damn dogs are going to take a look down here and they can see in the dark and they know what Victor smells like and it'll all be over. So he watches with the mirror while the guy, just some guy, approaches. Victor stays low, and when it's time, he slides out, cuts his ankle with the shard of mirror, and when the guy, just some guy, hits the ground, Victor cuts his throat. To silence him. Figuratively and literally. And you know what? It's easy this time. Killing. And this time it's a choice. A choice he makes to keep himself hidden, undetected. Victor pulls the body back behind the rubbish and waits. It all happened so fast. There's a small army of gnolls out there, but maybe somehow none of them noticed the brief disturbance. And then it's all over. They're gone. They've passed by. They'll reach the fortress soon and discover that he's escaped, so he's got to keep moving. Don't stop. Don't think. Go, go, go. He covers the corpse of his victim as best he can and moves to the mouth of the alley. Stay low. Check your corners. He does so. And with his mirror, he sees the iron-shod goat hooves standing in the sandy street. The stranger steps around the corner and scoops him up with one hand. I was curious, and I was right. You do still have the capacity for hope. Victor tries to stay stone-faced, but inside, another piece of him dies. You're a clever little liar. You can probably fool many, but I will always be smarter than you. And all of your endeavors for the rest of your life will turn out just like this one. Utterly pointless. She howls a hideous cackle of glee, and it lasts an uncomfortably long time, and the sound of her hollow, bitter laughter echoes off the pale stone walls as Roni stares at his new tattoo in the mirror and wonders, this choice to come all the way out here and get his uncle's sword, that had been his choice, right? He chose to come out here, right? It's not that he had been allowed to, right? And he's going back to Iris Hill because he wants to, right? Not because he has to, not because he has no other options. He tells the tattoo artist to make the next one, and as the pain of the needle cutting his skin hits him, he thinks of all he's seen and all he's done, and he thinks of his king and all the blood to be spilled in his name. And Roni kicks the memory of weak little shitty Victor to the curb as Sebastianis wipes the blood from under his nose and then digs his own dagger into his face and cuts out that triangle. That first one. And the vision fades.
Dora offers the flesh back to Vic.
Vic takes it.
Where does he put it?
It disappears into a pouch.
Okay.
We haven't read the scalpel yet, right?
Correct.
No, we can't till tomorrow.
And the coin, was that the one of Vic in the woods and he purposefully left the coin? Is that
in the bones.
Plaza of Bones.
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. He was just basically hanging out in the Plaza of Bones.
But we only
And,
got
like,
so deep on that one.
that's all there was with that. It was like
okay.
it was a passing fancy that Vic was like, I wonder what'll happen. But what if I leave this here?
And that's Igus Kai's?
That was Igus Kai's. So definitely different than this, which was a deliberate act made to sever this piece of him. That he was deep into remembering on multiple levels after what appears to actually have been decades of living here, raising a family, and living in Dilathleen.
But it was also only 7 weeks ago, or a couple, like...
Yes,
Yeah.
to Katerina, it was only 7 weeks ago.
Have we been awake 7 weeks yet?
The time to
I mean,
Katerina,
we've
it
been
doesn't
awake-
mean
irrelevant,
Yeah.
but-
We've been awake much longer than 7 weeks.
Okay, I
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah, definitely don't pin that number on anything in the real world.
Yeah.
copy that.
Yeah.
You can all sort of feel Vic like a snake eating its own tail, trying to think about this and trying to figure out whether or not him coming here in the past was a choice to try to escape everything that was going on, or if it was part of a setup to get close to this, or like how messed up was this? Like, was his past self trying to escape all this stuff and all this bloodshed and actually make a choice, or was this just
Like a long con to get
just
close
more
to.
collateral damage?
Oh boy.
I wonder if he went by himself to undertake this fetch quest and was like, no matter how long I stay here, it'll be morning
When I wake.
I wake.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back.
And I would say definitely because of the incense. You know that when Katerina indicated she didn't recognize these people, that's true. Like she had no idea who Grip and
Why
Doris
bring
Ashton
us
were.
for something where you're going to just steal something off of someone?
But
Might just be easier.
There were fireballs, but there was also a necklace of fireballs that we got from the cats and Igus Kai's. So it wasn't necessarily Taman, it wasn't necessarily anybody else. Like,
There are other ways to
there
do
are
that.
other ways to do that.
Yeah.
You all right, Vic?
No, I'm not all right.
Can you go on with what we had to do?
I don't see that I have much choice.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Why would you leave it? Oh, well, if you knew the time was coming where you would complete your mission, you would be waking up soon.
He pressed it into her hand, said, "If you see me again, give it back to me and spit in my face. He definitely seemed to understand that he was leaving.
He was leaving. And feared.
Coming back.
Like that might happen, that it might not be enough to succeed. And they might have to do it again.
And I think, boy, because of that open-mindedness, I mean, the between all the stuff going on here, Vic would have processed Katerina sharing that anecdote with you. It's like she was really worried about you in that moment. Like it almost felt like she didn't understand what was happening, but it felt like a suicide letter.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you could probably feel the waves of then weeks go by and no sight, and then just suddenly you're just back. Like, hey, what's going on?
Much younger.
20 years younger.
Yeah, 20 years younger and pretending to be somebody else. Yeah, she went from deep concern for you to
what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck, Dad?
Yeah.
So there's we also have to be aware that the hag is going to see us here eventually.
She doesn't already know.
So wait.
But she may not know who we are.
Right. As I'm saying that, I'm like, oh, but wait, we weren't fucking here? Is that right?
I don't think we were.
You want to test it? You want to walk by her and see if she recognizes you?
You're very recognizable.
Yeah.
Is there like a bar? Or is it just a big room that people lounge about in?
There's stuff everywhere, and there are barely dressed servers walking around selling stuff. Is there a place nearby to go and sort of lean out, hang around, unnoticed? For sure, absolutely.
Then yeah. Why the fuck not? I think he'll be like, I'm going to go just put myself in the center of the room and stand there and see what people do. I'll be right back. I will go find a place like that.
And what people mostly do is like, hey, as you go by, people are interested in touching your sleeveless vest, man.
Oh, they're all fucking rolling on Molly.
And people are interested in your tusks. There's a lot of handsiness going on. None of it feels aggressive, and none of it it feels like everyone's super interested, but not in you.
Right.
In the kind of novelty of their presence, right?
Yep.
And as you hang out there for a bit and maybe politely decline a couple of other barely dressed young women offering drugs, Quaviandra absolutely, at multiple points, while she's sort of holding court there, talking to different people over the course of a few minutes, lounging on her sofa, she would absolutely catch eyes with you, and you get not even a hint of... You probably would get a whiff of, well, that's a big fellow, but no hint of recognition. But she's also a diplomat, so give me a sense motive check.
Yeah, no, that's just a 6. Just a 6.
Yeah, no recognition whatsoever.
I have a question for Grip. Does it feel different at all to be in a place surrounded by all these different people where no one initially feels like you're dangerous or something to be scared of, or
yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's most definitely started to become more accustomed to that feeling just by the nature of being on the boat and like his relationship with the crew and how he has, started to become one of them. But being in a place where he has not, laid a groundwork of I'm trying to be nice, that's definitely got to be a very different thing.
Yeah.
Not having everyone cowering in fear of him or anger at him or it has definitely got to be a new sensation for our boy.
Yeah. And Dabwick is probably a little bit of a curiosity. So you said you came here in halfling form. Yeah. There aren't a ton of halflings or gnomes or folk of that small of stature in here. It's mostly humans or human-sized humanoids for the most part. So you're probably getting an equivalent amount of like, oh, wow, and just wanting to touch you. And
they're so little.
So little. It would feel totally insulting if they weren't all just so genuinely filled with excitement at how cool it is that you're there.
Hippies.
Man.
Hippies. Well, so then, I'll relay that she doesn't appear to recognize me. What do we do?
I think it would be very easy for Vic to pick up flashes of recognition from people around the room.
Sure.
You're not catching like, oh, that fucking guy, but you're not like people's
Because
gazes
he's
don't
20
go
years
over
younger.
you.
Maybe that
Oh,
was...
right. Oh shit, yeah.
They're high,
Rewind.
and
Yeah.
he's 20 years younger.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And
So-
my hair is different,
Yeah.
and I'm
and you're
dressed different.
carrying yourself totally differently.
Yeah.
They might think he's the son of...
Interesting. I hadn't thought that far through this. So yeah. So flashes of recognition, but you're not getting like, oh, there's Sebastianus. Like you're not getting that.
Perhaps that's your way in.
That's fun. Trapped myself into making you
Unrecognizable.
unrecognizable with my own backstory.
Hoisted by your own petard.
Heyo.
All right, well, what do? We're going to go treat with this hag? That's not my job.
Vic, I think we're relying on you.
Yeah.
So I suppose if you want to do some more detect thoughts, Dora, to your point about diplomacy in this environment,
Yeah.
Might take time and might not yield too much of value from a lot of these people. But, you were
But if I can get anything,
getting
why
thoughts
not? Yeah.
about, I can't believe she's here after last week, the attack, people obviously have visions of that in their mind. If you want to try to probe it,
Yeah,
use another
absolutely.
slot
Yeah.
there and try to pull
I
that. Great.
What do we remember / know about hags?
Yeah, it's been a hot sec, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yes, you knew about the spell resistance. They have very high spell resistance. Damage reduction, you need magical cold iron weapons to overcome it. And then, give me knowledge planes check. Let's see if we can just polish off the knowledge.
Bloody bollocks.
25.
Natural 1 for 19.
Immune to cold and fire.
Oh, I hit his cold iron now.
Oh, you
Oh, that's cool.
do hit his magical cold iron.
Yes.
That's, wow. Oh my
That's
god.
Huge.
I still think we should try to steal it from her. Rather than fight in this drug den with all these people.
As Vic is looking across the way and eyeing her lounging there imperiously, draped across the sofa, remembers as not only can they use their heartstone to bind a soul, but that is what they use to enter and depart the ethereal plane. That it is the heartstone itself that gives them the ability to go ethereal. That's not something they can do without that stone.
So in other words, if they don't have it, then if we don't get her quickly enough, she could vanish into the ethereal and then be done.
100%. And it's not like she can only go ethereal for a few seconds. She can just
be there.
Yep, and stay there as long as she wants.
Yeah.
And come back whenever she wishes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We have invisibility. We have silence.
We do know the see invisibility spell allows you to see ethereal creatures.
We have see invisibility.
You have
All silent.
magic missile and force effects would affect things on the ethereal plane. But of course, if she goes ethereal,
She's gone.
yeah, that's it. Because even if you manage to kill
Yeah.
her from this plane, you have no way to get there to get the stone
Right.
that she would drop. Right.
We can't let that happen. But do we have the impression that we could kill her in one round before she could go, if that were even a thing? Doesn't feel like it.
No.
Yeah.
No. You would think of her as
Very
a
formidable.
difficult challenge for a party of your level.
Okay.
Even if it's just her against the four of us.
Yes. Set aside
Minions
everything else.
notwithstanding.
This
Yeah.
is why they stole it in the first place.
I mean, basically think I powered down that worn out night hag to
Right.
a level to make her as
Yeah.
equivalently difficult to you all then as she would be to you now.
Gotcha. The only idea I have, and this is, I'm just going to say, a terrible idea, but it's the only thing that is in my head. Try to grapple her while Vic steals the stone off of her, and then, I don't know, fucking run. But, yeah, I don't know.
Or I could always just try to go up to her and
You could.
Yep.
try to steal
Absolutely
it.
could.
and just snatch it.
Or you could just go talk to her. Hey,
Yeah.
Dabs, why don't you go talk to her? Drag your 8 charisma over there. And
Dabwick's one idea, which they don't think is a good idea either, but is an option, is to summon a swarm of mad monkeys to
Distract.
That is such a better idea.
add chaos, and they can do a disarm check on anyone in their square to steal something.
Yeah, they can do the steal maneuver.
You have to be able to get it from them.
Got to get it from them eventually, and they do damage to the things that they steal. Swarm damage.
It's a really brilliant idea.
And I
But
gotta
very
say,
risky.
And
it
the
is
chaos would be so
I know.
delicious.
Yeah,
The
this would be crazy.
picture of that is so much better than just grabbing.
A swarm of mad monkeys.
I mean, it could make you invisible. It could make you fly. There's things we can do, but I mean, it feels to me like snatching it and trying to wake up is the best plan we have.
What do you think, Johnny?
Oh, Vic is really torn on this one because Vic feels so responsible for having created a family here, and also he feels responsible for all the suffering and all the shit that they've caused, and all like these are people. These are people that have like their own lives and stuff, and he understands that we are trying to do something for the greater good, but at the same time it feels totally selfish. And the thought of like going to a night hag and trying to explain like it's not, from what he knows about night hags, like she's not going to care. They're not
I don't think anyone is suggesting we try to explain anything to her.
Well, but her profession is she's a diplomat. She is an ambassador
from where?
From somewhere in the abyss to Dilathleen, the city of Dilathleen. This is also, it's just her home away from home, and she makes her living by talking.
And to your other point, the people whose lives are at risk if we don't follow through on this mission include everyone in here and everyone we've encountered before who hasn't already been killed by what's happened around us. I would suggest that the only way to honor the sacrifices that have already been made and will continue to be made is to finish this. This is our last one. But if you don't think you can do it, then I will attempt to convince her that she should give it to us. She can apparently get another one.
If Vic is standing there at the moment, totally stymied, you absolutely could go over and start talking to her if you want to. That is absolutely on the table. She seems approachable. People are chatting with her.
I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my character sheet and my plus 18 diplomacy, and I'm like, I don't know if I have it. I just rolled a 1 on that other thing I have a plus 18 on.
So you got it out of the way.
There we go.
Such dangerous thinking. You just said that in front of Roll20 too. So
Roll20 can hear you.
Did you find out who the mother was?
No.
Come on, we've got him at the edge.
Why would you say that?
Sorry.
Jesus
He's about
Christ.
ready to do something, and now
just
you're going to
said
go.
well.
And did I make it clear the mother has disappeared?
Sorry.
He's like a timid squirrel.
God,
We're trying to.
All right. He goes,
all right.
And daughter's left alone now. No mom, no dad.
Shut up. We all know they have lives and dreams and
Although,
hopes. And
Does she
I'll
wanna go
give
to
you
college?
Matt
So wait.
props.
The mother's disappeared.
God damn it, we were so close to overlooking this. Christ.
That's what she said. Yeah, I don't know where mom is.
All right.
Huge kudos to you for finding something truly horrific to Johnny the player.
Yes. That's my goal.
Like, there's a horror campaign of something that is
job.
truly horrifying
That's
to
my
our
job.
dear friend.
So
Have fun with that.
Vic strides directly over towards Aviandra.
Okay. Vic starts the walk through the press and the smoke and the incense and the sweat and approaches the night hag. And that's the end of chapter 143. We'll pick up right here next time.
That sounds like him.
I want to see what happens.
Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's Paizo.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at syrinscape.com. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and Ari, Paul and Shannon, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, JH, the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration. I can take a knowledge of what?
That planes?
I'll let you know in a second.
No, I want to know now.
Oh my fucking god.
Arcana history of planes.
Or dungeoneering.
Religion, local,
Nature.
engineering.
Tell us what it is.
This is so helpful, you guys.